Relying solely on state legislators and bureaucrats to nullify a federal act is bad strategy. President George W. Bush signed the Real ID Act into law in 2005. It essentially co-opts the states into creating a national ID system. Every state was supposed to comply with the provisions in Real ID by May 2008, but states refused for various reasons, including privacy concerns and the fact that Congress didn't provide any funding for the mandate. Many states passed resolutions opposing it, while others simply ignored it, and some passed laws expressly prohibiting implementation of the federal act. The feds pushed hard, but found coercing unwilling states wasn't so easy. Year after year, the feds claimed it would be the last chance to comply. But every year, the states wouldn't budge, and the feds moved the deadline to the following year. From the beginning, the feds threatened that people living in non-compliant states wouldn't be able to use their driver's licenses to get through TSA security at airports. Former Montana Governor Brian Schweitzer, a Democrat, famously said the federal government can go to hell back in the spring of 2008, calling the no-fly threat another bluff from some bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. In January 2007, the Maine legislature overwhelmingly passed a resolution opposing implementation of Real ID. Utah followed suit a month later, and other states such as New Hampshire did the same. By October 2009, 25 states had approved either resolutions or binding legislation refusing to cooperate. But the feds kept pushing, and the fortitude of the states began to fade. In many cases, most of the legislators who led the resistance were no longer in office, and the new blood didn't seem to have any problem submitting to this federal mandate. Idaho is a prime example. In 2008, Governor Otter signed a law saying Real ID was inimical to the security and well-being of the people of Idaho. It flat out prohibited the state from implementing the federal act. But in 2016, Otter signed another bill into law, overturning the prohibition and beginning the implementation process. A similar thing happened in at least 6 states in 2016 alone. But one state did manage to stop Real ID in 2016 because of aggressive action at the grassroots level. A Real ID compliance bill sailed through the Kentucky legislature after Governor Matt Bevin said he supported the move. But when people ratcheted up the pressure on the governor, he reversed course and vetoed it. The lesson is clear. Relying on state governments to unilaterally nullify federal acts without public pressure, including protest and even non-compliance, is not an effective strategy. Next up, how jury nullification can protect people even in the face of federal arrests.